Erickson, and my wife Mary and I own and operate the Black Dog Ranch and Cattle Company here in beautiful Weatherford, Texas. You never know it by the weather, but it is January and only 70 degrees. It is amazing. Wanted to talk to you a little bit in this educational series about breeding, and it's something we as Wagyu breeders focus on maniacally, and we've been around long enough that I'm going to call this breeding by the numbers or breeding for the numbers, whichever way you want to look at it. When we first started in Wagyu, the only things that you could relate to in terms of how good is this female, how good is this bull, is SCD numbers and tenderness numbers. And so there was a certain amount of good information there, and the rest we kind of guessed at. Then a lot of us, as we needed more information, went to the Australia system, and there you could get just a wealth of information. And now with the the American system of looking at EPDs, you've got even more data. And I liken this to kind of like buying a car or buying a computer. You can get so down in the weeds on what does this stuff mean and what do I want to do that your eyes will glaze over. So I'm not a geneticist. I'm not an embryologist. These are just my opinions or observations from the years of breeding that we've been involved. And so we're members of the American Wagyu Association, the Australian Wagyu Association, and we look at all the numbers, but we also, through experience, have looked at other things as well. I know for a fact that it's almost impossible to find the perfect top of herd cow in every category. So what we do, and what I always recommend to customers, is pick the things that are important to you. Is it milk? Is it low birth weight? Is it carcass weight? Is it eye muscle? Is it marbling? Is it marble fineness? You know, what are the 3 or 4 or 2 or 3 things that are important to you, and focus on those. And you may not get there in year 1 or year 2, but if you keep a plan together on this is the way I want my herd to be with respect to these, then you will get there. And if you look at the rotational breeding systems as well, everything isn't based just around marbling. Some of the quadrants are high marblers, some of the quadrants are milk and maternal, some of the quadrants are carcass size. And you rotate between those, which is what we've worked at, and that works pretty well to get you well-balanced cows, which I think a lot of ours are. And so, you know, one of the ones that is always interesting to me is World K's Michifuku. Michifuku is the rock star. It's one of the baselines in the Wagyu industry. He's the reason a lot of us are where we are. And if you look at the numbers are okay. They aren't top of herd. The only thing that is really top of herd on is eye muscle. It grows a really nice big eye muscle. But if you look at the American system, the IMF rating on him is 55%. It's okay, not fabulous. If you look at the marble score in the Australian system, it's 30%. If you look at marble fineness, it's 3%. So the numbers are all over the map. And so trying to do everything just by the numbers or for the numbers gets really painful. And so that being said, it's important to look at all of this. I take it all with a grain of salt because there's so much fluctuation between what the American system says, what the Australian system says, and what we see on the plate. We've had, for example, some really average sires come through that have produced prime and prime plus beef. So again, take it all with a grain of salt with respect to the numbers. It's important to look at, keep in mind, but don't get so focused on them that you lose sight of what you really want to do as a breeder and where you want to take your herd. So that being said, you can reach us with any questions at ericksonblackdogranch.com, and that's our website as well as Facebook. Thank you much.